Hello YouTube, and welcome to my video about a guy making laundry soap, which is really exciting. I got this recipe off of online, and it's essentially the Duggar's family recipe. There's a few things that I do. Essentially, I'm showing you how to make it, with a guy's perspective, which is to do the least amount of work as possible. The first thing you do is you get this Fell's Naphtha bar of soap, and then what you get in the laundry detergent aisle, and you shred it up so it dissolves better in the water. And this there's not very many ingredients. There's only really 4 ingredients other than water is more. But the idea is that this is going to make a lot of soap. It's going to make 5 gallons for me, and I'm not going to break it up into smaller amounts. I'm going to leave it in the 5-gallon bucket. So here I'm filling up the water. I'm trying to dissolve the soap. I'm going to heat it up over the stove. And so this shows kind of what it looks like before it's dissolved. See how it's still big chunks. The smaller the pieces, obviously the faster it'll dissolve. And then I heat it up. I don't show that, but now it's been heating up. It didn't really boil, but now you can tell that there's not any big pieces in there. So now I know it's dissolved. So now I'm going to put it in a big old bucket. And before I put it's hot, so I'm going to put water in the bottom of the bucket first. And that's so that the bucket doesn't get ruined. I don't think it would, but anyways, safety. So then I put it in with hot water, and I put the water from the tap is as hot as I can get it. And then I try to heat it up some more. Now, one of the things that I like to use this bucket, and so I'm going to put a lid on it. Here I'm just heating up water, putting it back on the stove. I don't boil it. So now I'm putting a gamma lid on it, and that's my other bucket that I used before. It got a hole in it, and so I'm using the same gamma lid. In fact, the seal there's no O-ring seal in this one just because it wore out. But I still use it as a laundry detergent lid. Now I'm going to put one of the 2 ingredients, which is borax, and I'm going to put a half a cup of borax. And then I'm going to do a full cup of washing soda. It's not baking soda, it's washing soda. They're different. And you'll notice that I actually run out before I get a full cup, and so I just dump the rest of the box in there, and it's maybe, it's more than 3/4 of a cup, but it still works. And do a lot of stirring, and essentially I'm going to keep putting hot water in it until it's about halfway full, and then I'm going to just fill the rest of the bucket up with tap water as hot as I can get it. Here I'm putting some lavender, and that's just lavender oil, essential oil, even though this is like a really cheap essential oil from Walmart. But I just want the smell, or I'm trying to convince my wife that she likes it. If you don't put anything in it, if you just use the Fell's Naphtha, I think it smells just fine. It doesn't really have an odor at all, so it's more of a neutral smell. Anyways, I fill the bucket all the way up, or close to the top, and then I just stir. Alright, so we are outside the next day in the morning. So let's see what happened. What'll happen? It hasn't gelled yet. It'll gel up. It's a little jelly now. Maybe I didn't have enough of the washing soda. It's jelly. It'll work. So what I do, it'll gel more over time. Anyways, what I do is I take this spoon. First of all, I leave it in the bucket. I take this spoon and I just leave this in the bucket. You might have to fish it, but it's just soap. So every time I can stir it up, and then I'll just leave that like that, and then when I need it, I'll scoop it
And I do, a lot of the recipes online will show that they take this, the 5 gallons, and they'll make 10 gallons out of it, and then they'll do 1 scoop for that 10 gallons. And what they'll also do is they'll put it into smaller containers. But what I like to do is I like to leave it in this 5 gallon container, and then I don't care that I'm not using 10 gallons, and I'll just use this 5 gallon. Obviously it's more concentrated. I don't care. Washes my clothes and it's super cheap. And then with this lid, it's super easy, and I just leave this whole thing next to my washing machine. And then so I just take the lid off, and then I use the scoop, and that's it. Leave the scoop in the thing. Easy, easy. Don't make it more difficult by putting it in lots of little containers. And I think it works great.